The female mind has been wrapped in mystery, romance, and fantasy for centuries. Movies soften it, society protects it, relationships misunderstand it, and most people either idealize it or demonize it. But today, we remove the illusions, not to attack, not to shame, but to understand, because misunderstanding creates resentment, and understanding creates clarity. If you've ever felt confused by emotional shifts, mixed signals, sudden detachment, or silent dissatisfaction, this conversation is not here to comfort you. It's here to tell you the truth most people are afraid to say out loud. Welcome to Mind Unmasked. From a young age, women are taught emotional awareness before logical explanation. They are trained to read moods, tones, facial expressions, and energy long before they are taught to explain their own emotions clearly. This doesn't make women manipulative by nature, but it does make them emotionally intuitive. Many men grow up learning how to solve problems. Many women grow up learning how to feel problems. That difference alone creates most misunderstandings in relationships. The female mind is deeply contextual. Meaning matters more than facts. Tone matters more than words. Consistency matters more than promises. A man may think he is doing everything right because he provides, protects, and stays loyal. But if emotional presence is missing, the female mind often experiences that as absence, not logically, but emotionally, and emotions are reality to the mind that feels them. One illusion people believe is that women always know what they want. The truth is, many women know what they feel long before they understand why they feel it. Emotional clarity comes first. Intellectual clarity comes later. This is why you'll often hear phrases like "I don't know," "I just feel different," or "something feels off." These aren't games. They are expressions of an emotional system trying to process internal conflict. Another illusion is that love alone keeps women loyal. Love is powerful, but emotional security is stronger. When a woman feels unseen, unheard, or emotionally unsafe, her mind begins to detach long before her body leaves. By the time she says she's done, she often left months ago internally. This isn't coldness. It's self-protection. The female mind is wired to seek emotional safety above everything else. Safety doesn't mean weakness. It means predictability, emotional stability, and trust. When chaos replaces consistency, attraction slowly erodes. When words stop matching actions, doubt enters. And once doubt becomes permanent, affection turns into distance. Women are also highly sensitive to emotional imbalance. If they feel they are giving more emotional energy than they receive, resentment builds silently. Most women don't explode immediately. They observe, they internalize, they rationalize your behavior for you. But eventually, the emotional account runs empty. And when that happens, love doesn't disappear suddenly. It fades quietly. Another uncomfortable truth is that attention is emotional currency. The female mind responds strongly to how it is prioritized. Not just grand gestures, but daily presence. When attention disappears, the mind starts searching for emotional stimulation elsewhere. This doesn't mean every woman cheats, but emotional neglect always creates vulnerability, and vulnerability invites temptation. The illusion that women leave for someone better is often wrong. Many women leave because they feel worse staying. They don't always chase perfection. They chase peace, and sometimes peace looks like distance. The female mind is also shaped heavily by validation. Not because women are weak, but because they are socially conditioned to measure worth through emotional feedback. Compliments, appreciation, and acknowledgement aren't extras. They are emotional nourishment. When validation disappears at home, the mind becomes starved, and a starved mind pays attention to anyone who feeds it. One of the biggest misunderstandings is emotional expression. When a woman expresses frustration, She's not always asking for solutions. She's asking for understanding. The female mind wants to feel felt before it wants things fixed. When emotions are dismissed or minimized, trust erodes, slowly, quietly, permanently. Another illusion is that silence means peace. Often, silence means emotional withdrawal. When a woman stops arguing, she may have stopped hoping. Anger still means investment. Indifference means emotional exit. The female mind is also deeply influenced by how it feels around you. Not what you say, not what you promise, but how being with you makes her feel about herself. If she feels calm, valued, and emotionally safe, attachment strengthens. If she feels anxious, invisible, or emotionally drained, distance grows. Women don't wake up one day and change. Change is the result of repeated emotional experiences. Every ignored message, every dismissed concern, every broken promise is stored emotionally, not as a list, but as a feeling, and eventually, that feeling defines the relationship. Another truth people avoid is that attraction is emotional, not logical. You cannot argue attraction into existence. You cannot demand desire. The female mind responds to emotional polarity, confidence, consistency, and presence. When these fade, attraction fades too. The illusion that women are always emotional and men are always logical is also false. Women can be incredibly logical when emotions feel secure. Men can be extremely emotional when ego feels threatened. The difference is expression, not depth. The female mind is also adaptive. When unmet emotionally, it doesn't always confront. Sometimes it adjusts expectations downward. That looks like acceptance, but it's often resignation. And resignation is the beginning of the end. Understanding the female mind without illusions requires removing fantasy. Women are not angels. They are not villains. They are humans with emotional systems shaped by biology, society, and experience. When their emotional needs are met, they can be deeply loyal, nurturing, and supportive. When consistently unmet, they emotionally detach to survive. This lecture is not about blaming women. It's about understanding patterns. Responsibility exists on both sides. Emotional awareness is not weakness. It's intelligence. If you've ever felt confused, hurt, or blindsided, understand this. Most endings are emotionally decided long before they are spoken. The signs are always there. Silence, distance, reduced effort, emotional coldness. These are not sudden changes. They are emotional conclusions. The female mind doesn't want perfection. It wants presence. It doesn't want control. It wants consistency. It doesn't want intensity. It wants emotional safety. And once you understand that, relationships stop feeling like games and start making sense. At Mind Unmasked, we don't tell you comforting lies. We tell you uncomfortable truths that set you free. Understanding human psychology isn't about winning against the opposite gender. It's about seeing clearly, choosing wisely, and protecting your emotional well-being. If this opened your eyes, stay with us, because clarity is power, and power begins when illusions fall. Subscribe to Mind Unmasked, where we expose the psychology behind human behavior without filters, without fantasy, and without fear.